You already know who it is, and you already know what it is. This is the Outlier B, and I'm right back up at you guys with another video and another podcast, my people. What up? How you guys feeling? I hope your night went by fine, man, because mine's did. Mine's did. It was A-okay. Y'all know we got an action-packed episode lined up for you. We are going to speak about that Vetiver fragrances that I've been telling you about. We still going to continue comparing and contrasting them. We also going to speak about workplace bullies, my people. And last but not least, we're going to finish up on that Ahmaud Arbery case. So we got a couple people on the check-in. We got my boy on the check-in. Zuzi, what's going on, my boy? How you feeling? He said, good morning. Hey, man, how are you? I'm straight, man. I'm straight. I was thinking a lot about you last night, my brother. Thinking a lot about you. Sending all my best wishes for you. Yesterday on the episode, you showed me, or you told me that you was going through a lot. And more power to you, man. You know, just keep on going. Keep going strong, my man. You definitely got our viewers, the outliers, pushing for you. And you also got me pushing for you, man. And again, if you up this early in the morning, you are an outlier also. And how do I define an outlier? I define an outlier as someone who's produced by this system, but at the same time, you are a statistical anomaly, my people. So that means that you don't see things the same way the average person see things. You see things just a little bit different. And if you've ever been pushed aside, if you ever felt like an outlaw to society, then you are most definitely are in the right place. We got my boy, he said, thank you, man. No, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. You definitely give me the power to keep pushing forward. Definitely give me the power to keep pushing forward. So we on our third Vetiver fragrance of the week, or in 3 consecutive weeks. The first one, we did Grey Vetiver by Tom Ford. Then we did Vetiver Extraordinaire, which was another great fragrance. And this week, which is going to end up or finish my look into Vetiver fragrances, is Original Vetiver by Creed. Now, so far, this Creed one is definitely the loudest out of all of them. Yesterday, I put it on, 3 sprays before I left in the morning. And gosh darn it, gosh darn it, that thing was still on me when I took off my clothes. Somebody said, we're listening. Jarrell King, what up, Jarrell King? He said, can you not be so loud? I'm loud, brother, I'm loud. All right, let me slow down. Yeah, so we on the third Creed, we on the third Vetiver fragrance. And this one seems like it lasts much longer than all of the other Vetiver fragrances, my people. Definitely seems like it lasts longer, and it's more of that traditional fragrance of Vetiver, which is that grass I was telling you about. So this one smells very, very, very fresh. And that's what I like about it. Yesterday was one of those days where it was pretty windy, and the Vetiver fragrance was most definitely coming off of me. I walked around people, and I definitely felt them respond to the way that I was smelling. Now, typically, that's not the way I do things, but I'm doing it for my people, man. Doing it for my people, for you guys. And, I've been getting pretty good reception from it. So if that's what you're looking to have a fragrance for, something that you're going to wear a couple sprays of and a whole bunch of people are going to like the way that you smell, then this is definitely a good fragrance for you. So we got somebody else on the check-in. They said, happy hump day from Knock'em Stiff, Ohio. You funny. Shout out to my people in Ohio. We get a lot of people that check in from Ohio. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the people checking in from Ohio. Yes, sir. And we got, what, 15 people checking in. Hit that like button when you check in. Also hit that subscribe button if this is what you're into. And what is this? It's nothing special, my people. Nothing special. I'm just a regular brother walking him way to work every single day from Monday through Friday, 4:30 in the morning, speaking about some of the things that happen around here, which is New York, Nassau County, New York, also New York City, and around the world. We get into all of that type of stuff, my people. We got somebody else on the check-in. They said, hi, what's up? Kamisi Fire, what up? Somebody said, did you take your morning dump before you left the house? Somebody asked me if I took a morning dump before I left the house. I sure did. I sure did. So now I should be set for the whole day. I should be set for the whole day, you know? So let me get into my second topic in which I was speaking about, and that is workplace bullies, my people. Workplace bullies. How many people in the check-in do y'all deal with people attempting to bully you in the workplace? Have you guys ever felt that? We got people laughing in the check-in. Yes, sir. Do you guys ever feel that, man? You know? Somebody said never. We got somebody that said never. Somebody said all the effing time, all the effing time. Yes, sir. So what do I look at as workplace bullying, man? Where I work, we got some doozies, yo. We got some doozies. And this is not going to be anything sexist. I'm just going to tell you about the way I see things, man. I've been working in my field for over 20 years, my people, 20 years. And nobody really says much to me. It's just been a pretty good road, you know? But there have been a few people who get into that lane and they really, really, really want to mess with me, yo. And I just I try to ask myself why. Like, what would make somebody want to wake up on their days to come into work and just cause problems, man? Just cause problems and incidents, you know what I mean? And again, I've been in these fields for a long, long, long time, man, you know? And listen, I don't want to sound sexist, but the only problems I had was with, 2 or 3 different women, yo. 3 different women. And they all shared the same exact signs. These are not 6-foot women, 5'6" women. These are little, skinny women who have power. They get into a position of power. And I don't know what it is about these 3. I'm not generalizing anybody. I'm just saying these 3, yo, like, there's been situations where if we were in the streets, it would most definitely be problems, my people. One of them basically called me an idiot without really saying those type of words. They use piercing language. They get real aggressive with you. It's the craziest thing in the world, man. Craziest thing in the world. So we got somebody else on the check-in said they have EOOC. Yup, foul against them with EEOC. You know, I mean, that's definitely a plan. You understand what I'm saying? But I won't go that route. I wouldn't necessarily go that route. I know if the shoe was on the other foot and me having the position that I have, if I was to do the same exact thing, people would do that to me. But listen, I ain't gonna get on that level. But what I'm telling y'all, man, is that I've seen situations in the streets, right? So these guys in the office can never really intimidate me. You know, I've been in situations on the streets where it's been real. You know, had guns held against me before, had people looking for me who are known in the streets. And those are real issues where, you know, people can actually do some physical harm to you. So sometimes I kind of laugh at these people because what they think they're doing, they're not necessarily doing. You understand what I'm saying? So it gets kind of funny to me. That's why it gets funny to me. But when I talk about bullying in the office, it's like they don't let you speak. You get into a meeting, and it's like they make it seem like your voice shouldn't be heard. You're getting cut off. Where I'm at now, there's certain parts of the building where, you know, one of the people I told you about, they set up their whole team around the VP, the vice president. So in order for you to get to the vice president, you got to walk through their section. And I'm telling you, yo, it's like you wearing a rad cap or some rad sneakers in a Crip neighborhood, the type of looks that they give you. And these are all adults, son. These are all 40, 50-year-old people acting like kids and acting like children and acting like this is still in high school. Somebody, let me read the comment section, man. What y'all talking about? Somebody said time consuming. Somebody said they retracted their message. Somebody said, why does 13% commit 85% of all the crime? We got this dude Bill talking that craziness. Yeah, so, that's the type of stuff I look at work, and it's like, you come in and try to do your best every day, but it don't even matter sometimes. It don't even matter. It's craziness. Craziness, craziness, craziness. So now we got somebody on the check-in. They're talking about why does 13% commit 85% of all the crime. And that will most definitely depend on which crime statistics you are watching. There are certain crime stats where 13% do commit 85% of the crime. But then there's other crimes where the 85% commit like 99% of those crimes. So my question now is, what about those crimes? Why isn't that 85% that my man dropping on the comment section looked at to be those types of people, And those type of crimes, they aren't fun crimes, my people. Those are not fun crimes. Those are crimes involving minors. Those are crimes involving fraud and things like that. So me, on my way to work, 4:30 every day in the morning, I deal with those other types, the fraud types, the types that you probably can't leave your kids around. And, if we just generalizing and making those types of comments and those type of statements, then you have to also wear that hat. You feel me? But I don't look at stats like that to try to make certain people feel bad, I walk, plenty of people talk about YNs. They tell me about YNs. Be worried about YNs. Be worried about this, that, and the third. We got somebody else on the check-in. They said, I couldn't say bullying. Somebody said, I wouldn't say bullying is what you say old heads set in their ways. Somebody said truth hurt is public information. They said they wouldn't call it bullying as in old heads set in their ways. I would agree, definitely. Old heads set in their ways, but I'll be 46 in May. Some people would consider me an old head, but I changed my ways. Definitely changed my ways and definitely don't try to overstep people when they're speaking. I'm not trying to control the information going through the VP by setting up my team in front of the VP, and anybody that want to go to that person now got to go through them and, the dirty looks that they give you when it's supposed to be an office building. We all supposed to be on the same team. It shouldn't be set up, the left side is for this group and the right side is for this group. Like, it's the craziest thing, y'all. Craziest thing. What should we say? Somebody says public information. Somebody said just stats aren't true. And that guy is an idiot. Somebody said Jesse Lee Peterson would agree with me. Hodge twins would agree. This guy over here talking about these conservative dudes. Listen, I got nothing against Jesse Lee Peterson. I have nothing against any of these conservative people. I think that the way that they look at things are different than the way I look at it. I got a whole series where I speak about, the individual versus the system. And I understand that individuals make up the system. However, there are certain systems that's set up where it's harder for some people to succeed in that system, And I think that these are just known facts, you know what I mean? I'm definitely far from a racist. I see things for what they are. Me being a black person, you understand? I grew up in a certain type of neighborhood, but that doesn't affect my day-to-day life. You understand what I'm saying? Understand that I may be an exception to the rule, but at the same time, I know that I had a system set up for me to succeed, A system set up for me to succeed. And people who grew up like me, some people who grew up like me had it, harder than me. And it's going to take extra work for them to have the same results that I have. So what I'll say is this, man. What I say is this: each one teach one, my people. Each one each one teach one. If you have some information that's valuable for anybody, not just people who look like you, then you got to share that information, just to help the group of people that's coming up behind you, my people, to help the group of people that's coming up behind you. So again, I don't get into those talks like the Jesse Lee Petersons. I think that those are rage bait people. These cats get online and they talk crazy. They try to get people riled up for an audience. That's never going to be my stance, my people. Never going to be my stance. So again, I could listen to a Jesse Lee Peterson. I could listen to any of those conservative dudes and say, they do have a point. They do have a point, but where I feel like, where I differ from them is what we talking about. I feel that we should attack things systemically, on a systemic level. So we got somebody else on the check-in. They said, New York City look nice. What part is this? Somebody said, this host playing victim mentality. I'm white and grew up in Detroit projects. All right, what victim mentality am I growing up in? You see me, it's 4:30 in the morning, my brother. I'm on my way to work. I just told you the way I grew up. You don't know how much money I make. You don't know what's my title, what I do. You don't know what I push. I've never seen you in here before. So you could say, go through all the tropes that you have. And I bet you none of those tropes reach me because you don't know who I am. So we got somebody else in the check-in said, what part of New York is this? This is Nassau County, my brother, Freeport, New York. We are in the suburbs. This is a suburb of New York City, my brother, suburb of New York City. So this is Nassau County, and we're about, 20 to 30 minutes away from Queens, and we're about, 45 to an hour away from Manhattan. Me, myself, I work in Queens, so I'm on my way to Queens, my brother, on my way to Queens. And I would say that this area is nice. While I was walking, definitely nice. It's a middle-class neighborhood, I would say, middle-class neighborhood. The houses are gonna cost you about 700,000, 600 to 700,000. The taxes are kind of high out here in Nassau County. That's one of the downsides of living in this side of Nassau County, Long Island. A lot of high taxes, a lot of high taxes. Somebody on the check-in said, come to see what's all the fuss about. What up, Big Mont? What up, Big Mont? Somebody said, you're the guy who was talking about the white guy who defended himself against robberies. He said, I'm the guy who was talking about the white guy defending himself against robberies. Are you talking about the McMichaels? Go back and watch what I said. Watch what I said about that. Did I say that they were defending themselves against robberies? I said they was defending themselves against a guy who was in the house. And they didn't know what that guy was in the house doing. They assumed that he was doing a robbery when the homeowner, Larry English, said that he did not think that Ahmaud Arbery was the person who was in the house that was stealing the building equipment. That's straight from Larry English, the homeowner's own mind. So if you're talking about that, then I don't know what you're talking about, my brother. And like I said, these guys were online making racist comments. Now, if you listen to the video, you would see that I didn't call them racist. I said they may have been joking. They may have been playing around with the comments that they were saying. However, if they knew that years later, they would be in a situation where they was chasing a teenager down for being in a home that they didn't know what was going on. And they grabbed their guns, they chased this man down for 6 minutes to the point where they ambushed him and forced him into a confrontation with them, and they were holding a weapon up against him. And he would do what any other natural person would do if somebody was chasing them down, yelling obscenities at them with guns. He fought. And guess what happened? These guys went to jail, and they went to jail for life. So, I mean, you're kind of telling us more about yourself if you call it just that. If you just simplifying the whole situation to that, you're no better than the Black Lives Matter people who were saying the jogger was killed. So, I mean, what side are you talking about, my brother? We got somebody else on the check-in. They said, let's see. Okay, that's Big Mont. Somebody said, hi, what's going on? My brother, what's going on? Somebody said he works at 7-Eleven. A good person. You right, I do work at 7-Eleven. Somebody said Griggs Briggs something. Somebody said living in the past. You want reparations next? He said I'm living in the past and I want reparations next. Listen, I'm making my reparations, my brother. I'm making my own reparations. You dig? My people fought for someone to like me to attend the same schools as everybody else to equal out that gap that was once created. So already got my reparations, brother. I went to school. I'm out here fighting in a system. I'm out here making my own way and not using no excuses. So I got my reparations. You feel me? Other people may feel like they need reparations, but that's definitely not me. I can understand an argument for people saying that they want reparations, but again, I don't sit around waiting for no handouts. I make my own outcomes in this world, my brother. Somebody else on the check-in said, good morning, darling. Watching from Los Angeles. Somebody said, keep up the grind, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And shout out to my people in LA. Shout out to the people in LA. I got to make my trip over there, people. Yeah, no, I love LA. I feel like New York and LA, two biggest cities in the country. You know, we definitely need to come together. You feel me? But I'm over here. My walk is up. About to go make my coffee over here at this beautiful establishment and out here. And I'm headed over there to take my train. We got a couple minutes. Let me read some of the people in the check-in. Somebody said, good morning, darling, watching from Los Angeles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Somebody said, keep the grind. Thank you. Somebody said, keep the blessings alive. Love the mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joey. Thank you. You know, and we got 24 people in the check-in. Well, actually 31 now. I'm about to get up out of here. You know, about to go make my coffee, about to go over to the train station. I love y'all. Check in tomorrow. I couldn't get into my last topic, which was going to be the continuation of the Ahmaud Arbery, where we're going to be speaking about gun rights in the United States of America, how it's kind of different out here in New York than it would be out there in Satilla Shores in Georgia. And we also was gonna speak about that citizens arrest, man, and the obscurity of what people wanted us to believe. But I'm up out here, man. Somebody said, keep good morning, baby watching from Fort Lauderdale. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Somebody said Trump. Somebody said Trump 2028. You wildin'. But all right, I'm getting up out of here. Thank you, cats, for checking in. I love y'all. Peace out. Yeah.